one.
All right. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback. He'll come out throwing here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Newton. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. These guys hooking up right away here, Charles. 2 plays, both passes in his direction, and both catches.
And in our time together, have we not seen the tight end position continue to develop in the passing game? You know, at some point, we may not call them tight ends anymore. We may have to come up with an entirely different way of designating that position and what they do on the field. Because when I hear tight end, I think of the old school, hand in the dirt, blocking on the line of scrimmage. These guys are much more receiver than they are guys who are going to move in the running game.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to lead to a third down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Looking to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
They run a draw here on second down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had the incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They need to make up some ground, and they did.
They'll drop to throw. And that's complete. It's Watson. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
23 yards on the play. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up. Golden opportunity, strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field, all right? This is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability to throw the football, his accuracy on this drive, you might want to think about a pass play in this situation.
Interesting. Time to find out. As they run the counter play. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. And now it's 2nd and goal. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. On now is the field goal team. Here's the Raiders. Will try for 3. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board. Happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general. Carry, it's Davis. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They're going to look to throw. Now the ball comes loose, and the Raiders pick it up. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. They run the counter now on on first down. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because, you know, those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Now for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you. Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
Let's go! 3-19!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on second down. Back to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So out come the Raiders. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him. And some
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
But that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've hit the end of quarter one. 10-zip our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They're on the march, but facing a third down here.
Let's go. Blue Lightning. Blue Lightning.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
And to give this time to the tailback. Down right around the 25. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
And that is incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And his kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And some room to work. Extending the arm.
Oh, yes, it works.
And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. A good pickup there at 22. They'll run with Davis. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Hurry up, here we go.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
How about the timing on that one, where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of it.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Here's the Chiefs punter now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Oh, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Let's go. 3-19.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a KC touchdown. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
Now the try here for the extra point. And that'll make it 13-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, nice move. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that will tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, and he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Newton. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They give him a gain of 38.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
All right, here we go.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And they'll go on the ground. Yeah, this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. Back now. As I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our first half of play.
Well read.
Oh, thank you.
Green 39. Green 39.
Second and goal to go now. And that'll be incomplete.
Now we've got third and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
Not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though this offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points.
This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. And the Raiders have got him.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He only has a single solo carry, one. Numero uno, second quarter. They need to get in the ball more, don't they?
I'm not the greatest statistician in the world.
Yeah, you are.
But a back like that with only one carry kind of takes me back to college in the classroom. Not enough evidence to declare what you should do the rest of the game. Give him the ball some more and find out.
Will they incorporate him? We'll find out. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. And some room to maneuver. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now, second quarter, you're losing, you're not playing well. Probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them? How do they work against it? That's what we're going to find out going forward.
Yeah, he'll be trying to get all that weight off his shoulders here on this drive. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
And I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And Davis has it over the middle. And he's brought down. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They come after him, they've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And that'll bring them back within 4. So a field goal here, they're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Chiefs now for 2 straight weeks are having trouble throwing the football. The Raiders have done enough on that end to disrupt the flow, and that's played into it as well. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Offense on the field now after the fumble. Brett goes deep downfield where he'll make the catch. And 30 yards later, he's going in for the score. Raiders push the lead to 10. Now 1st and 10. Here the throw is hurried and picked off. Chiefs take it back all the way for the score. Deficit shrinks to 6. Down to late in the second. Nice work to make the catch in double coverage, and he'll end up at the 35-yard line before being tackled. Chiefs, though, would settle for just a field goal. So that'll do it from Orlando. Let's get back out to Arrowhead as we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
3 yards to go on second down.
Here we go now. Green.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
The Chiefs on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Let's go. Blue line.
He's got a man. It's Williams. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Here we go now. 3, 19.
He'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket. Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's the Chiefs punter now. He's been terrific so far. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Here we go now. Blue line. Blue line.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Going to give this time to the tailback. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Here we go. Green 39.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. Now a handoff as they run left side. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I said the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And, oh, it's complete. What a catch at the 7. A big play that time for the Raiders. 44 yards.
So let's go ahead and add to the difficulties of guys trying to cover receivers. They got to deal with speed, shiftiness, all that stuff. But how about when they have height and length and deep downfield? You throw the ball up in the air. That's how they uncover at the end of a route, by being able to go up over the top and make a big catch.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Able to slither by. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they'll have good field position here as he's out of bounds up at about the 34-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why he had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Now Davis. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Armstrong. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Here's Davis now, and very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll look to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Runs through the contact. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard. They trail as we start quarter number 4. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner, 100 yards or more in a game. Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Fresh set of downs here. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Watson. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Newton. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Red zone opportunity. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Newton. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a first and goal. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up a second and goal. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. They'll look to throw. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense. So the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
This offense on third down today, they've had plenty of success. 8 conversions, looking for a 9th. This is third and goal. He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on second and goal, a sack on third and goal, now brings up a decision on fourth down.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the fourth.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now here comes Kansas City. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw now on first down. No gain, and it's second down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll set up a throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now the offense will look to respond after the sack.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Now back to throw. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal. Looking to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted.
Now let's go.
They'll drop the throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like,
yeah,
you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. That time, a 9-play drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. So a 7-point game, they'll need a recovery, the touchdown, and an extra point to tie. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead, but that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true. Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. And he'll give it here to his running back, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. Checking the NFL scoreboard, they're in the 4th now in Minneapolis. And not much trouble in that game for the Vikings. They've opened their lead further. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And they get up on it quickly and spike it with just a little over 50 seconds to go. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Let's go! 3-19!
Back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down. And the spike comes now with just under 40 ticks left. This will be caught inside the 10. A really good pickup of 28 yards. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. So there's the spike as it comes with 23 seconds to go. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. That's about as tough as they come. You're driving to try to put the ball in the end zone and tie the game, and that happens.
It's exciting for us, wasn't it? Because we were thinking, hey, we might be headed towards overtime. Instead, it looks like this one may very well be done. And guess what? If you're a fantasy owner and you have that defense, you just had a big, big game, didn't you?
Extra point attempt here still to come. And the lead is up to 14. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. And barring something unforeseen, this will be the last play of the game.
Now let's go. 3-19.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Raiders, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they drop a